Okay, I'm not, but that's okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. Well, good morning and welcome to Brekkie with the Guy Who Sews. Today is Saturday, the 9th of March. It might be the 8th somewhere. No, it's not really, but you know what I mean. It's the 10th in some parts of the world. So wherever you are, it's whatever date it is. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching live, thank you so much. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for joining the replay. I hope you enjoy the show. And I would love it if you just say hi in the comments and just let us know that you're watching and where what state or country you're watching from. I always love seeing how many different places we have viewers from. And, we usually have the US, Canada. Sometimes have some friends pop in from Australia. Sometimes Nadine pops in from France, my friends from Ireland, England, and probably some other places I don't really know about. So yeah, let me know where you're watching from because I always like seeing that sort of thing there. I'm like a big geography geek. So let's see who's with us. We had quite a few people jump in. Actually, now before we do that, I really should introduce my guest. What a slacker I am. She's been on a few times before. She actually bailed me out of a situation late last year when we had technical issues with another guest. She just popped on because I don't do well by myself on a live. Like how Becca and all the others do it by themselves. My hat is off to them because that's a talent. I mean, to keep everyone entertained all by yourself. Anyway, squirreling, getting distracted, whatever you want to call it. This is my guest, Donnell from Donnell Stitchery. If you haven't seen her channel, you need to go check it out. You can put in if you're watching live, you can put in exclamation point guest or exclamation point Donnell. And if you're watching the replay, the link is in the description as well. So, Donnell, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your channel and what sort of things people would expect if they head over your way.
Hey, Sean, thanks for that. So, hey, everybody, Donnell with Donnell Stitchery here. On my channel, I like to do a bunch of different types of items. I do sewing quilts. I like taking patterns and making it my own by changing things here and there. I like doing legit kits. I have just this time around started doing Tree of Life Puzzle Mystery Quilt. I'm doing the Purple Mist Small. And I'm doing it strictly on my channel. So that way there, I record one video of one block of each clue. And then the rest of them I do on my live stream that following weekend. So if anybody has questions or anything, then I can try to help and answer them. And I also like doing small projects like scrunchies, bowl cozies, rope coasters, and I'm going to be doing here soon and everything, probably within a few weeks or whatnot, doing quilt as you go hexagon handbags. So it's one thing I love making, and I want to share that with my viewers as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I love all the different things that you do, and that's one of the reasons I keep having you come back on the channel. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. And then she normally goes live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Are you doing that this morning as well?
Yes, I go to live at 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay, so yeah, if you like Donnell and you like her content, you can actually, once we're finished here, you can duck over there. We'll go get some coffee and maybe a bagel or whatever you have for breakfast. If you enjoy Vegemite, you're my new hero. And then yeah, head over at 10 a.m. and hang out with Donnell. So this morning I am going to work on the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, the new Tree of Life. We're on clue 2. I did clue 1 a little while ago, and I had the block here a minute ago. I got stuff everywhere. Everything here on camera looks polished, but if you look to the left or the right, it looks like a bomb went off. So, but this is one of the blocks I made last month. But that's just how it is in the content creating world. Unless you're one of those people that keep stuff organized, which is not me. I'm just in 15 different directions at once. So that's what we did last month. But this month we got to do 8 because I'm doing the large in the purple mist, the same colorway as Donnell, but I'm doing the large, and we're doing 8 of this block here, which you might be able to see if we're lucky. There we
Yep,
go.
we can see it now.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to point it down because I've got a nice bright light in front of me so you can actually see what I'm doing. But then if you try and hold something up, it doesn't do so well. So what do we do next? Oh, yeah, we say good morning to everybody or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Okay, see, my coffee hasn't kicked in. So it's a mess. If you're looking for perfection, I'm sorry, you have not found the right place. I hope you find what you're looking for, or just
And it
deal
didn't
with.
help any that Zoom did an update or something or other that caused some technical difficulties this morning.
Yeah, we had a few tech issues this morning before we got live, but that's why we had my guests join on about 10 or 15 minutes early. So we had that little bit of wiggle room to mess with in case something goes wrong. So my friend Beverly Akins is here. Good morning. Good morning to Guess Who Nancy. Good morning to my friend Kathleen Champ out in California. I always love seeing the people from the West Coast join me live because like at that time in the morning, I'm still asleep. Let's see, Brenda Foley, good morning. It's good to see you. Dragonflies for Donna is here with us. She wanted to say a special hello to you, Donnell, because she's probably gonna be lurking in the chat because she's trying to get some stuff done for some quilts. Joyce is here with us as well. Good morning. It's always good to see you. Let's see, we'll scroll down. My friend Stephen from Bland Designs and Idiot Quilts is here with us. And if you haven't seen his channel, he always has something going on. Like he has all sorts of fun content. So definitely go over and check him out. And he's getting ready to head down to Australia in a couple of weeks, which is really fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing some updates from his trip down there. Him and Walter have been 3 times. This is trip number 4 for them, I believe. So really looking forward to that. Okay, Miss Heidi, it's good to see you as well. Good morning, Lisa from the Orchid Quilter, Georgia. And oh, hang on, let's just put the correct link in here real quick. Hopefully they're working. And she has a wonderful channel as well you should check out. Let's see, Katie Krause, good morning. Laurie Colgan is here with us. I got to meet her at QuiltCon a couple of weeks ago. Jeannie E is here with us. Sheila is here. I was trying to catch up with her last week at the Mid-Atlantic show, but unfortunately our timelines didn't meet up. But I'll catch up with her at some point. She's like an hour up the road. So one of these days we'll do that. Chloe Morgan, good morning. It's good to see you as well. Polly, good morning. Lynn Bylis says, oh, hang on, what's going on here? Oh, now I've missed stuff. Jeez. Okay. Where are we? Good afternoon, Sean, Donnell, and everyone from a sunny but chilly UK. It's supposed to be gross here today as well. Let's see. Constance is here. Lisette, Russ from Quilt Meets World is here with us. I got to meet him the other week as well. I loved hanging out with Russ for the day. And let's see. Pasita, Cynthia Maria Field. Laura Supp is here with us from Arizona, so she's up early as well. Guess who? Nancy says she's back. Nikki B says hello from Mid-Missouri. Sylvia, I think we already got. I think we got everybody. Oh, and my friend Dana is here with us. She is from the Czech Republic, and which is awesome because first of all, she loves Darksons, so she's my new best friend forever. And secondly, she's from the Czech Republic, which is where one of my current exchange students, Simon, is from. So it is really neat to have her join us in the chat as well. So anyway, enough chatting from me. You didn't come on to hear me ramble, I hope, because that's a pretty sad thing. It's not going to be a very good thing if that's what you're here for, but you know. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started on clue 2 of the Tree of Life Puzzle Mystery Quilt. The nice thing about these is you get this pre-cut, so you get this nice little package each month, or if you prepay, you get the whole thing up front, which is nice, even better. And then you get the instructions and you put it all together. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour if you're lucky. And you don't have to pull out your very, very bestest friend. Oh, yeah, you might have seen this already, but I got myself a new present last week.
Ooh, what did you get? Oh yes, I remember you showing that on the video.
Yeah, so this is my new jack, but the reason I got a new jack was like the other one works perfectly well. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but I wanted a stiletto. And so I don't have a stiletto. Well, I didn't until last week. So I was hoping to get
always use a point to my jack for my stiletto.
Well, that's what I've done in the past, but you know, I've seen other people use them and it looks like it's a good idea. So, you know,
Yeah.
I figured, well, since I'm at the show, I'll go look and see what they have. And if they don't, I know Fallon's husband, Matt, makes really, really nice ones as well. But I figured, you know, if someone's local there selling it, I'll get it there, save on the shipping. And yeah, it was like, I don't know where in Suffolk, but it's like the next city over. So speak of them, there's Miss Fallon right now. Okay, Fallon is asking, what does my shirt say? And it says, it's all fun and games until the bobbin runs out. Now, hopefully that won't happen today because I actually filled it last night.
You said that and I looked down to check mine really quick.
Oh, that's one of the things like I have a pre-live checklist I go through each week and make sure the bobbin's full or have a spare. Like if it's half full, I might just wind an extra bobbin. So if I have to do a quick changeover, that's fine. But yeah, that's one of the things I do. Okay, so the traveling quilter is here. She says, I'm still at work. get off in about 20 minutes, and I cannot remember her name. I am terrible of names.
Ruthie.
Ruthie. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Lena's working on some binding, finally getting the finisher put for a friend, may not chat too much. And that's okay. I cannot chat and sew at the same time. Like if I'm watching Donnell or Becca or someone else, I have to choose one or the other. So I totally get that.
Yep. And I am working on the Cafe Facets Midnight Diamonds.
Oh,
I
that's pretty.
started this over on my channel, and I'm not using Cafe Facet fabrics. I'm using my own
Okay.
because I got a goal this year of I'm not buying any fabric unless it is backing or background.
hmm I'm
So that
trying
way
to do
there,
something.
everything I do this year is gonna be strictly from my stash and trying my darndest not to have to buy anything other than backing.
I have a similar goal. I'm not quite that strict, because basically I want to shop for my stash first. And if at all possible, use from there. And I think in 80 to 90% of situations I can. But yeah, again, background backing, I think you need to just, unless you have like bolts and bolts of stuff laying around, I think you kind of just, it's a good idea to say, okay, it's good for that.
Exactly.
And if I need something, I'll go out and get it. Like if there's a particular color I want, I'll go get it. But my quilt stores are one 20 minutes away and one 45 minutes away. So I have to actually make an effort to go. 20 there, 20 back, an hour in the store. That's 2 hours of sewing time I lose every time I go to the store. So it's a good thing that I can kind of shop some stash. So yeah, it's nice that you have a very similar goal to me there as well. Debbie Dunn says, "Good morning, everybody. Awake, have a cup of coffee." Yes, I'm about halfway through my first one, and then we'll start the second one. Good morning, Rob. It is good to see you as well. And good morning to Miss Gloria. It's good to see you.
Yep, and here's the beginning of it.
Mm. Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide how large I'm going to make it. I figure right now I'm just going to work on getting all the pieces sashed today and then start putting it together and figure out how big I'm going to go from there.
Excellent. So what I wanted to mention real quick, I will get started in a minute, I promise. I am having so many squirrel moments this morning. It is not funny. But we keep it real here on The Guy Who Sews. So I was mentioning last time that you need to keep this magic piece of paper with you with the what are these things called? The color swatch guide. Because when I was sitting there preparing this thing last night, you can see here that my fabric D is a very nice white. And when you look at the instructions, the D is dark, very, very dark. And the A is white, and my A is a very dark blue. So I almost messed that up. So if you're doing the large and the purple mist for whatever reason, make sure your color guide's with you and separate everything and kind of, set yourself up for success, because this one's going to be a little confusing if you're not careful. So,
And I just want to note from personal experience, pay very close attention to your hash square triangle orientation.
oh yeah.
I had my first week or my first clue, I had to rip that thing out like 3 times.
And and it's okay to make a mistake. Like I say that all the time, and I wholeheartedly believe that, because I think there's rarely, like, even though I've been doing this for quite a while, there is rarely a clue where I don't have to pull out my very, very bestest friend. It might be a good thing that I bought another one, because I might wear the other one out. Oh, and I've got the wrong foot on my machine. Oh, we are having a wonderful day here. Okay. We are keeping it real, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. There are
If
some
we
channels
don't,
out.
then who will?
Yeah, if there are some channels out there that show you how everything goes along smoothly and perfect and everything else, this is not it. We show you how it is. We show you mistakes happen, and that's perfectly okay. All right. Joyce says, Donnell, I like that pattern. Looking forward to seeing what you end up with, what you end up doing. Yeah, I think it looks like a lot of fun too.
Yeah, well, the pattern size is, let me see if I can't find it here. Not on that paper. I know it's in the pattern in the book. Let me look real quick because I believe it was like about like a twin or full size bed. Let's see. I could be wrong. Okay, so it finishes off at 58 by 83 and a half if you go by the exact pattern.
They'll keep you busy for a while.
Yeah, which I'm kind of leaning towards just doing it like a throw size, but I'm not really for sure. I figure I'll do up all the pieces and figure it out. And then if I go smaller, then I can always try and do something else with the pieces,
Yeah,
with
and
the
that's the
extra
nice thing.
pieces.
You can always change it up with that sort of thing. I mean, there's a couple of quilts I've worked on in the past, and I'm like, I don't like that size or that size or that size. And I'm like, okay, so each block is this. I can just, multiply it, to make it the size I want. So that's the nice thing there. Good morning, Amy Dement. It is good to see
Good
you.
morning, Amy.
If you haven't seen her channel, you need to go check it out. She is an absolute hoot. She is very, very entertaining, a lot of fun, so bubbly, and that sort of thing there as well. I also need to do a couple more shout outs here as well. My friend Janice from The Right Way is here as well, and she has a lot of fun content. So definitely go check her stuff out. Fallon, you probably all know, because she is just absolutely amazing. And I've been a huge fan of hers since day one, really. I mean, she's like one of the first channels I ever met on YouTube. So always been a big fan of hers. And who else did I miss? I missed Brandy. Um, I'll put her link in as well. So lots of quilty goodness there for you to check out as well. And while we're here, we can talk about who is live today. It looks like we'll have Donnell at 10, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we'll have Russ at 11. He is here in the chat, or at least he was a little bit earlier, and he is always a lot of fun. I like to tune into his lives whenever I can. A lot of times after my live, I go out and do stuff with the boys, so I don't always get to catch you or Russ live, but I'll pop in and check out the replay when I get a chance.
I was
Good
gonna say, like
morning.
I always say, replay is better than no play.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people come and watch my replay because, I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern. So if you're in mountain time at 6 a.m. and at 6, yeah, I'm getting up to get ready for a live. But, if I had the opportunity to sleep in, sometimes that'd be nice. And if you do choose to sleep in sometimes, don't feel bad. Come watch the replay and hang out with us. Sometimes you need that rest and rejuvenate. So no problem there as well. Okay. All right. Guess who Nancy says my eyes are not working this morning. I feel like a sneeze is stuck. Yeah, that might be the spring allergies. I think we're all going to have the fun of pollen season very, very soon if you haven't already.
Yeah, it already hit my whole household pretty hard and everything because we've been sick and all. So,
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how the boys react to the pollen here in Virginia because
oh yeah, that's right. Because they're not used to any of that.
no, I wasn't. Like I always heard about allergies and hay fever in Australia because like we get very little pollen down there and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I come over here and everyone's like, the pollen's really bad, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And yeah, it was horrible. Like the first time I saw pollen all over the car, I was like, what happened here? I thought some truck had gone down the road and left pollen, like some sort of powder on the cars, something like that. So I really had no idea. So yeah, we just don't have that back home. So all right. So yeah, Amy says East Coast pine pollen is brutal. Yes, it is. Yeah, I am just waiting. And a lot of those over-the-counter medicines don't really work for me, unfortunately. Um, and then Benadryl, apparently works really, really well, but that stuff knocks me out. Like you give me Benadryl, you won't see me for 12 hours.
Yeah, same here. I am like super sensitive to any type of medication that can knock you out. And so if I take it, it's like it's a guarantee. Within 10 minutes, I'm done. I'm out cold. A tornado or a bomb could go off and I would never know it.
Yeah, well, I didn't know about it. And we went on a mission trip back in what, 2005. That was almost 20 years ago. Good gravy, I'm getting old. And we're one of the tasks we had was to weed whack around the coffee plants. And this year it was really wet and there was a lot of these little bugs. I don't know what they call, but they bite around your ankles. I think I counted at one point I had like 55 different bites around my ankles. And it swelled up and that sort of thing there. Well, it wasn't bad enough to go see a Nicaraguan doctor, thankfully. So someone was like, okay, well, let's give you some Benadryl. It should help reduce the swelling. Well, it did that beautifully, but it knocked me out. I'm riding in an old school bus up the side of a mountain. I remember very little of that. And apparently they had to have two men carry me up the hill to put me in the bed.
Oh no.
And then the second time I took Benadryl was by accident. I took it on aircraft in Sydney, getting ready to come back home to the US. because it was inside motion sickness stuff. That was the shortest flight of my life. It was really nice. I fell asleep, during takeoff, and then I woke up about 3 hours outside of LA. So, yeah, as a sleeping aid, just beautifully for me.
Yeah.
All right, Amy says the sleep effects of Benadryl are only effective for a very few days, and then your brain turns it off. So a week of tired and then relief. Okay, yeah, you wouldn't see me for a day, so I'm best off not messing with it. All right, let's see. Pollen Atlanta almost hit five-digit pollen count once. 250 is extremely high. Thank goodness I'm not affected. Okay, so I am not going to Atlanta in the springtime, apparently. Yeah, and this, what was it, last year, back in June? It was not the pollen count we had to worry about. It was the smoke we all had to stress about because it was pretty brutal
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, a lot of the smoke that was coming from like Canada and stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And
that
with
was
me
so.
being right here in Michigan and everything, it was bad outside every day.
Yeah, I mean, I had photos when we went up to DC to take Daria back to the drop her off so she could go back to Macedonia, and it was really bad. But New York was even worse. And it was strange because we had a lot of bushfires and that sort of thing in Australia, but I guess we don't get the thick, dense smoke from eucalyptus trees like you do with the pines and whatever other trees are here in the US. I'm not a botanist, as you can tell. I make quilts. So, but yeah, it's very strange, that it's so different. Like, you can have a bushfire 100 miles away and you won't even notice. Although the other thing I found fascinating too, so yeah, apparently we got to sit here and talk about geography and weather today. That's apparently today's topic. We never know what we got to do. What
Nothing
was it? I
wrong with
think,
that.
yeah, it was like 2011 to whatever year it was. It doesn't really matter. Apparently, Brandy has to disappear. Okay, well, thank you for hanging out with us for a little while. Yeah, we have a big swamp nearby, huge swamp. It's called the Great Dismal Swamp, and it caught on fire. Now, how a swamp catches on fire, I have really no idea.
Especially
Did
since there's plenty of water around to put it out.
One would think, you'd think, yeah, as I said, things that you never thought would happen in your lifetime. I think one of them up there would be that the swamp catches on fire. So yeah, apparently this thing caught on fire. We had an earthquake the same week. We had a hurricane roll up the coast that week and brush the coast nearby. Still didn't put the fire out, but it was always really interesting, because we're surrounded by water. We have lakes. Well, not the lake. There's a lake somewhere. There's bays, there's rivers, there's the ocean nearby, and a lot of rivers. And the smoke would come from the south up to us. And depending on which way the wind blew, some areas would be smoky and some weren't. But it was always divided by water. So if you were on one side of the river, it'd be as smoky as all get out. You went across the other side, it was clear as day. And then the next day, it did the exact opposite. So, yeah, there you go. All right. So, Traveling Porter says I was in South Dakota last summer, had Canada smoke. Now in New Mexico, getting Texas smoke. Okay. I didn't
Oh
realize
wow.
Texas. That's right. Texas is on fire. I forgot all about that. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Joyty is asking, what is the biggest snake I encountered and where? Okay. So that is a very interesting story. That would be the eastern brown snake, which is I have a third or fourth on the list of deadliest snakes in the world, depending on which list you're looking at. And it was probably about 7 or 8 feet long. I did not get a measuring tape out to measure it.
No, thank
Um,
you.
Truth be told, I wasn't super concerned about it because it had a rat or a mouse or something in its mouth. So it wasn't going to like spit it out and come bite me instead. So they always tell you when my mother tried to run over it to kill it and she missed and it came straight down towards me. And I always tell you with a snake, if it comes towards you, don't run away, don't dance around and make a jig. You stand still and just let it go by because they've got very poor eyesight and they think you're a tree or something else like that. And they're not usually tree climbers, thank goodness. So yeah, this thing came down next to me. It probably missed me by about this much. And was I scared? Absolutely. But yeah, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, go past me and down into the river. So yeah, that is my snake story. But I've actually seen more venomous snakes
I
here.
probably would have laid on the ground having a heart attack.
Well, as long as you were still, you would have been fine. So
But
that
I grew up in Tennessee around cottonmouths and rattlesnakes, and my brothers used to try and catch snakes and chase me with them because they were just not right in the head.
yeah,
And to this day, they still mess with me about it. I'm like, dude, I'm like, you are so lucky. I did not hurt you.
that's that's boys for you. All right, so I was telling you earlier that there was rarely a clue where I don't have to pull out my friend Jack.
You jinxed yourself, didn't you?
Yep, jinxed myself good. I put this on backwards. So there we
And you
go.
should have listened and paid close attention to your orientation, like I said.
Yep, it happened. But it happens, if it happens,
Yeah.
just
Oh, I
don't
know.
don't beat yourself up about it. Just shake your head and go, you silly lady or silly man, which, whatever applies. Because we have men and ladies join us, so I'm not going to just say ladies. Um, there you go.
I would
Fallon
just always say
says,
silly old goose.
silly, yeah, I remember that one too. Fallon says, I haven't heard of that about snakes. I just pretend they don't exist. Yeah, but you don't really come across them here that much. I mean, I've seen more venomous snakes at the local water park than I did in the whole time I lived in Australia. Everyone always tells me, oh, Australia's got all these things that can kill you. Yes, that's very true. But unless you go out looking for them, you're not, you really don't have to worry about it. And then if you
I
go
told
down
my
during,
husband and son that oldest son, that I want to go to Australia one day because I think it would be so cool to see like the type of birds that I've had and everything out in the wild.
oh yeah, that's so
And
fun.
and they're like, my oldest son's like, no, there's stuff there that would kill you. I'm like, there's stuff everywhere that will kill you.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to go out and look for it.
I'm
Like,
like, come on, I'm like, come on, kiddo. I'm like, we live 2 miles north of Detroit. How much more dangerous of an area can we get?
that is true. Yeah, I mean, in the 23, 24 years I lived in Australia, I saw two venomous snakes. And I think I've seen four or five at the water park here. Well, found a rattlesnake up in the mountains one time. I found a rat snake, which is not venomous, but it's, if it bit you, um, you still it wouldn't be a pleasant experience. Yeah, I found one of those at one of the local parks here one day. So, like they're out there. You just, as long as you're careful. And if you go during the American summer, it's winter time down there. So they're probably all, in a hole somewhere taking a nap. So, yeah, don't worry about that. You'll be fine. Stephen and Walter have been down there three times and nothing's gotten them yet. So, there's your proof, that's
Well,
going to
then,
be
plus, I
okay.
mean, look how many years you lived there.
Yeah, and I don't think I ever remember hearing, obviously people get bit, like if they pick up a stick that's not a stick, or they, around the farm or something, they're hiding and you happen to disturb it, they may come out and get you, like those sort of things. So yeah, people get bit, but they have anti-venom in all the hospitals for this stuff. And I don't ever remember hearing anybody that I know, well, maybe my great great grandmother or something like that. But in modern times, I don't remember anybody that's ever been bitten by a snake. Spiders, yeah, different story, a few people, but um, yeah, you don't really have to worry too much about that. So
See, I just stay away from the creepy crawlies.
yeah, there you go. So you'll be fine. Let's see. Fallon's safe from the fire, so that's always good news.
Yeah.
Uh, Steven says go for the kangaroos. They are so fluffy. Now, something else that's really fluffy is the koalas. Like their wool is so fluffy.
Ah,
Um, don't go out
koalas.
and don't go out and handle them in the wild. Like, if you want to go pet a koala, go to a wildlife sanctuary and do it there. It's like I would not recommend climbing up on a tree, to pet a koala.
They're
Um,
like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
yeah, that I am not condoning that. I am recommending entirely against that, So there you go.
I could see it now. I'd be the one getting mauled by the cute, adorable animal because I'm wanting to pet it.
And don't do what my wife did and try and pet the customs dog at the airport.
Oh no, those I already know to ask in advance because they're trained to kill.
Well, they're trained there to sniff out food or yeah,
Food,
whatever else
drugs, contraband.
yeah, and she thought it was cute and wanted to pet it, and the customs officer wasn't real pleasant about it.
See, if it's a dog that it belongs to somebody or a working dog, I already know it's best to ask first because a lot of times they're not allowed to be petted.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, she's really good about that. But she'd been on a 16, 17-hour flight. She'd never done anything nearly that long before. She's exhausted. She wasn't thinking, the poor thing. But even all these years later, I like to joke her about it. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, like I've just gotten to Australia and now I've got to go bail her out of jail. Like, um,
Oh, too
the
funny.
all right, Carol says I'm in the UK, so no dangerous animals here. Thank goodness. That's a good thing. Yeah, I really haven't heard of any dangerous animals in the UK. So, um, Stephen says koala can be mean. I pet one, but the one they gave me was not a happy one. Yeah, there's a couple of different. Like, if you ever go to Australia and you want to interact with a koala, there's a couple of different options. Um, if you depend on which state you go into, Queensland, where they have a lot of the sanctuaries, you can actually hold a koala and get your photo taken for a nominal fee of, who knows how much it is these days. In the state that
Oh,
I live in, where New South Wales, which is where Sydney and that sort of thing there, they changed the laws several years ago. We are not allowed to hold them, but you can, under supervision, pet them. And
that would be
having,
so cool.
yeah, and having done both, I'm a big proponent and I prefer to do the petting thing because A, you get longer with the animals, and B, it's less stressful on them because you're basically petting them. It's like petting a dog or a cat or something else like that. It really doesn't, agitate them as opposed to being passed from person to person to person to person. So, um,
Definitely.
and then if you do hold a koala and you go down there and it's warm, put a sweater on or four because those things climb trees and they have very, very long claws. And when they're holding onto you, they think you're a tree and they will dig into your skin if you're not careful. How do I know? I've learned from experience. So yeah, if you ever go down there and you get the choice, I suggest doing the petting thing because it's a much more special experience in my opinion. So that is my thing. I said, yeah, I mean, you do you. But that having done both, that is definitely my recommendation. It's a lot more fun. All right, let's see. Amy says I always have to walk through the airport, saying out loud to myself, "Don't pet the very good boy." Hey, whatever you have to do to save yourself from getting arrested. Yeah. So there you go. All right. Let's see. Good morning. Leanna is here with us from Pastry Queens Farm Adventures.
Hey,
She was on with me.
Leanna.
It's always good to see her. I'm a big fan of her. She was on with me a few weeks ago, and she is exclamation point pastry because I figured it was easier than trying to teach people how to spell Leanna. And I probably it's
Definitely. And who doesn't know how to spell pastry? I
pastry.
mean,
Yeah, everyone knows how to spell
nice.
pastry. All right. Tammy is here. She says, I'm finally up early. She's practicing for next week, which is awesome because she's going to come out and hang out with me next week. And I'm really looking forward to that as well. So,
Awesome sauce. Hey, Tammy. Yeah, I was on her channel the other night and we actually did. Oh, no, you guys can't see it. We did coloring fabric and I did this on her channel.
oh, nice. So is that like with the fabric paint and that sort of thing there?
No, it's with I used a Sharpie to draw my design and
Okay.
then we just used Crayola crayons and
Really?
colored it
Okay.
and then she had like some other supplies you had to have and everything in order to get it to where it'd be permanent on here.
Okay. Because I was just I was at I've been to two quilt shows in the last 2 weeks. I don't know what to do with myself today because I really need a haircut and I'm getting that next week. Um been to two quilt shows in 2 weeks, and the one I went to last week always has a vendor that has a bunch of different paints, like fabric paints. And I've never tried it, and I've kind of been curious to do it. Um, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
That'd be interesting to try.
Yeah, maybe that'll be next year's little adventure. Maybe I'll go get some colors and we can just sit there and play with it and have a nice time. We'll just see. The trip to Hampton last week was so rushed because last I wanted to go for the day, but then had to run Simon out to an event, go run some other errands. I didn't get out there till like 2 o'clock, and they closed at 5. And then I ended up talking to someone for an hour and a half, and so I had probably an hour to go look at the quilts. Like it was rushed. And then I thought about going back Sunday afternoon, and it got time to leave. And what did I do? I took a nap. And you know what? I stand by that decision. Like the nap was needed. So
Definitely. Yeah, I found that if you need a nap when you're a grown up, then your body's just telling you something. We're ready to shut down.
yeah. So I stand by it. It's just that I would have loved to have gone back. I was ready to go, and then no, just
But your
didn't
body
happen.
had other plans for you.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I stand by it. And that probably saves a good chunk of change by not going back. So all good things. Let's see. Oh, there's a quilt show at the Raleigh State Fairgrounds. Are you planning to go? When is that?
His answer would most likely be yes.
Hopefully it's not today, because if it's today, we're out of luck. But if it's soon, I might have to go down there and check it out. That'll be a lot of fun. I mean, I know how to get to Raleigh. I was just down there a couple of weeks ago. So,
Aw, Leanna, I hope you get feeling better, hon.
what's happening? What did I miss?
Leanna's been under the weather for the past few
Oh,
days. She said she just woke up. Hello to everyone. Still not feeling well. I hope everyone had a great week. I napped every day last week.
yeah,
Aw, poor girl.
sometimes you need, and she needs to rest up because, um, she's getting ready to go back home to Puerto Rico in a couple of weeks. So you don't want to
Yep.
travel. You do not want to travel sick. Like I get wicked motion sickness, and so I know what it's like to travel sick, and it is absolutely miserable,
And just
especially when you're
Nancy, you get the coloring to stay by using paper towel underneath it and on top of the colored fabric, and then using an iron until I believe Tammy said until like you either smell it or you see like the greasy residue of the crayon from on the paper towel, letting you know that the wax coating of it had melted.
Was it on Tammy's channel
Yeah, it was
that you
on
did this?
Tammy's channel and everything. We did it on her channel. It was this past Tuesday night, I believe it was at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you go back and
Okay.
check her channel, you'll
Yeah,
be able to find it.
I'm getting the video link now. So,
Okay.
and that's the one where you were on with it, correct?
Yep, I was on there
Oh,
with
yeah.
her doing it. So
Okay, so I just put the link to that video in there. So if you're interested in learning, yeah, just
awesome.
learning
Thanks,
or
Sean.
that sort of thing there, just go and I mean, I'll go check it out when I get half a moment, which might be 6 months from now. But yeah,
I'd be like,
I
hey,
just get
Sean, did you ever check out that channel? I'm like, oh, crap.
yeah, chase me down on that because yeah, I get pulled in so many different directions and I get distracted. So yeah, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, Sean, did you ever get around to that?" Because yeah, I'm terrible.
I
Let's
said that
see.
to my oldest son the other day because he had a scroll moment. He goes, huh? I had to sit there and explain it to him. I'm like, it's whenever you get distracted when you're doing one thing, and then you're doing like 50 other different things and never remember to come back to finish the one.
Oh, I do that all the time, and I'm not afraid to admit it. So this is what I've done so far. I have made my first flying goose. Well, now it's flying geese because we have two of them. So
Beautiful.
there we go. All right. So Joyce is here. Good morning. Good to see you. Um, she says, I didn't realize how tall you were until I saw you in the group picture at QuiltCon. Now that was something I heard all day at QuiltCon. Like I met so many people, I can't remember the whole list. Like there was
I
like
was so
12.
jealous of all you guys that got to go to QuiltCon. I didn't get to go.
If you get a chance to go, it's great. I do plan to do a review video like of my thoughts and everything else, what I liked, what I didn't like, that sort of thing there. But especially the networking, like being able to meet so many fun people in one place in one time was absolutely amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's like
That
the
was
quilt that after watching all of your guys' videos, recap videos and everything, the one quilt that stands out the most to me is that black and white one of the portrait of the guy's face.
oh, that was amazing. That one was
Yeah, I'm
absolutely
like,
amazing.
oh my gosh, that is dedication.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, I think Russ from Quilt Meets World got to talk to the guy that made it. I think.
Oh wow, that is awesome. Yeah, and
I
he's
th
actually going to be on my channel here within the next few weeks, I believe it is.
Oh, you'll have a lot of fun with him. Russ was a great guy. Like I spent the whole day I was at QuiltCon. I was with him and Larry from Sewing with Lil Wayne, and
Yeah,
it
he was supposed to be on my channel today, but he's sick, so unfortunately he had to cancel.
oh, that's sad. Yeah, he's a lot
Yeah.
of fun. Like he in person, I had so much fun hanging out with Larry. He's a great guy. I plan to get him on my channel at some point, but it'll probably be the summertime because he's out in California, the San Francisco area. And I've had a guest come on at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not going to ask him to do that there as well. Lisette is asking, I don't know if she's asking me or you, but we can both answer this question. Would you go to Phoenix QuiltCon? For me, no. It's a little too far. And I yeah, I think I'm going to wait till it comes back over this way. There are rumors swirling around all over the place that it may come back to Raleigh in the next few years. That's not confirmed. Do not say that Sean said it's definitely coming back to QuiltCon because I'm just hearing the rumor mills. So yeah, if
Yeah.
it comes back close enough where I can drive, great. But yeah, a plane ticket for me out to Phoenix and back is more money than I care to count, and then hotels and everything else. So,
Yeah, for
I
me,
don't know.
unfortunately, I don't have the option of going to any quilt con unless it's somewhere drivable for me because of the fact that right now I have one vehicle down and my husband's vehicle is on its way out. So we got to get one or the other fixed. And mine is like so I bought this truck. I had a truck in 2020 that first Mother's Day of COVID, it had gotten stolen and woke up Mother's Day and it was gone.
Mm.
And turned out the people that stole it, it was from a big theft ring, and they put it through a brick wall of a Family Dollar in Detroit, stole some stuff, and left it there, and it was totaled out.
Oh wow.
And this was like in the hype whenever you couldn't really find any vehicles for sale and everything. So I got the next best thing that I could get, which was the same type of truck, and turned out the truck I got, the whole framing underneath and everything is rotting away, so not safe to drive. So it's been sitting in my driveway this entire time with me making payments on it and not being able to drive it. So I got to get the framing either replaced or reinforced. And then my husband's truck has a really bad oil leak. Then we got to get that fixed.
Yeah, that sort of stuff's always scary. Like,
Yeah, so unless it's like something local driving, we really don't go anywhere right now.
yeah.
And I
I
can't
mean,
justify paying that price for plane tickets and everything whenever we got like a vehicle on its way out the door.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said I loved meeting everybody and it was fun and everything else, but yeah, I really don't have any plans to go to Phoenix next year. The next big quilt show on my bucket list would be the one in Houston in November.
Yeah, there is a quilt show I found out that is in Novi, Michigan, and I want to try to make it to that one. My husband
Yeah.
did say that that's like a couple hours of drive for us. So I'm hoping maybe I could talk him into that one.
Well, that too. The other thing you might do if you have the car issues with the cars, um, you could always rent a car too if you do
Yeah,
it far enough in
that's what I'm
advance. You can,
hoping for. Like maybe just do like a weekend trip up there.
yeah, you can rent a car. Yeah, if you book it far
Rent a
enough in
car
advance.
and stay in a hotel for a night, go to the quilt show, and then come back.
Yeah, that's kind of what I plan on doing. If I ever get when I go to Houston, I found there's a nonstop flight from here to Houston. I can go down first thing in the morning, spend the night, and come back the next evening. Like it would be fairly inexpensive because I really only need one hotel night and then the flight down and back. So I mean, it might cost me, $500 or $600 for the plane ticket, 100 or 200, for the hotel. So I mean, I think for $700, $800, I could go down there and experience it. So we will see. Okay. I know I'm missing stuff here. Okay, Brandy says Phoenix is closer to Oklahoma, so she's checking options. Yeah, I think it's nice that they go to different cities around the country each year, so that way you don't have to travel clear across the country. Across the country, I know Becca is planning on going to Phoenix next year, which is nice because she can probably just go hang out with Tiffany and Scott because they live fairly close by. And I was joking with her the other day. I was like, if I went to Phoenix. It might have been on, actually, I think it was on Fallon's channel the other day. They're not talking about that. I was like, yeah, I'd probably end up at the baseball fields and watch spring training instead. I'd get lost. So, yeah, there'd be a problem there with me. So, yeah, if I end up going to Phoenix, you might have to go to like Springback Ranch or wherever they play baseball.
Yeah, if I
You
went
might,
to Texas, I would much rather go visit Tiffany and then go visit Fallon and Matt than go to a quilt show. No offense.
yeah,
And Amy, because I think Amy's in Texas too, I
Amy's out there.
believe, if
Yeah,
I'm not correct. Huh?
yes, Amy's out there in Texas somewhere. I don't know not quite sure where,
Yeah.
but
I would, if I went to Texas, I'd have to go visit all my fellow quilters in Texas instead of going to the quilt show.
yep. Yeah, it's like when I go home, like I have to sit there and book everybody's like, the people who want to meet up with me. I have to sit there and like schedule everybody out before I leave America because it doesn't matter how long you stay there, there's never enough time. So yeah, it's always a mess. Okay, Mona says when I was younger, I used to rent a car to go home. Yeah, we've done that in the past too. Like if we wanted to go on a trip, yeah, and once the cars had some miles on them, yeah, we just rent a car because you might pay $100 or something for the weekend, but you're not worried about your car breaking down in the middle of nowhere, and then having to find a repair shop and all
Then
that sort
plus
of
that
mess.
$100 is still cheaper than a plane flight.
Oh, for sure, and a lot more comfortable.
And I'm not taking a plane ride and everything since my kids got of age where I had to pay for their seats.
Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. The last time I went on a flight was back in 2017 to go to Australia, so I haven't been on one since. That's all right. Okay. Well, thank you, Charlotte, for joining into Friends of Dak. I do have a membership, which is $1.99 a month and is totally optional. I always want to tell everybody that I want my content to be free to all. I never want to put a paywall up, that prevents people from being able to access the content. Now, if I lost my job next week, things could change. But I don't think
It
they're
could
going.
be jump out to like 20 an hour.
But if people have asked in the past how they can help financially, and so we put this option up there. So it's it's $1.99 a month. I just figured we'd just do something really cheap. And basically what that gets you is that it'll put your name in green. You'll get a nice little sticker next to you. And then I'm also starting to roll out early access to select videos. It'll probably be more so the like time lapses and that sort of thing there. I can't do early access to a live, obviously. And I really can't do early access to the podcast because I record those things 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning for release at 9. There's going to be no early access for those. Maybe in the summertime when the boys are, I don't know, but that's kind of just, yeah, it's totally optional. I don't expect it or anything else, if that all makes sense. I hope I've explained it. But we do have quite a few of our members here. Andrea's one, Chloe, Mona. I know I've missed people, but if you are a member, thank you so much. I appreciate it greatly. Yeah. I'm a mess today. I really am. So
Yeah,
okay.
I need more money coming in because in order for me to be a member of everybody's channels I want to be a member of.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So try a flight from Canada to Australia, 4,000 round trip. That is cheap because we bought the tickets in September. It's on sales now. Yeah. Flights to Australia are not cheap from wherever you go. That price sounds very, very reasonable. You should have seen it during the like a year. Like I was looking at them last year or late 2022, and I mean they were very, very expensive. I think they were like 4 or 5,000 US each, and I'm like, yep, we're not going anywhere. I even looked at like going different routes, like going via Japan was a lot cheaper But it's like, I don't know if I really want to, like, I want to visit Japan, but if I went to Japan, I want to stay there for a while, like not just stay in the airport for 3 hours and then hop on another flight. So
Yeah.
I'll make it down there at some point. I just don't know when.
Yeah, if I'm going to go somewhere like that, I want to be able to go where I can actually stay and sightsee.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it'd be fun to run around Tokyo and Japan for a while. My sister and her husband have been.
And for me, sightseeing would be like seeing the nature.
Yeah. Oh, they went all over the place and had a really good time. I mean, they took the bullet train here and there, and then they did one of those driving experiences where you drive those high-powered sports cars, because that's something my brother-in-law really enjoys and that sort of thing there. So, all right. So apparently Steve and Walter want to go to Japan too. Well, maybe we should all have we can do a joint trip. We'll all go together and we can check out all the quilt shops in the Tokyo area. That'd be a lot of fun. And I think anywhere you went with Steve and Walter would be an absolute hoot too. So, all right. Andrea says they're growing like little weeds. I sold three of them last week. I have more due to be born on the 14th. Okay, so I'm thinking that must be dogs or cats or some sort of animal. Okay. Let's see. Molly says several of my quilting friends and I also rented an Airbnb when we went down to Houston. Some of us also volunteered to work a 4 hour shift and we got free parking on the day we worked. Well, there's an idea. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, because that was one of the funny things. Like, I bought my day ticket to QuiltCon 2 weeks ago, and I think the ticket with the whatever fee it was, like the credit card processing fee, I think it was like $15.55. I paid more for parking that day than I did for the ticket.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the parking was $16, so I mean, it wasn't that much more. I just thought it was funny the parking fee was more than the but I expected that going down into it, so I wasn't concerned about it. I was just like, okay, well, there we go. All right, Simona says she is going to listen while I do chores. Yeah, chores are always fun. I have to do those later on myself.
Okay, Leanna and Andrea are saying bunny rabbits.
Oh, bunny rabbit. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Andrea's got the cutest little bunny rabbits.
All right. Tammy says I want to do a quilt cruise eventually. I just don't know about getting seasick. Okay, so as someone with pretty wicked motion sickness, I can tell you that if you have motion sickness and you want to go on a cruise, do not let that dissuade you from doing so. You may want to go ahead and get some good motion sickness stuff. If over the counter works for you, wonderful. If you need to get a prescription patch that goes behind your ear, like I do, great. But the nice thing about these cruise ships, especially the newer, bigger ones, is that they have all sorts of stabilizers on them. And if you go through rough seas, yeah, you got to feel it rocking a little bit. But I never, ever once felt seasick on these cruise ships. So as long as you have your medication, just to be on the safe side, I think you'll be okay. Unless you like go through the middle of a hurricane and then, just take a nap until you get through it. But yeah, they're really, really good, especially those big, huge monster ships. They're very, very stable. Is what is my has been my experience. And if someone has got a different experience that they want to share, please do so. But yeah, I've never had any issues with that,
I've
thankfully.
never been on a cruise ship. I would love to go on like a quilt retreat type of cruise ship. I think that'd
Yeah,
be so cool. I just haven't had the opportunity to do so.
yeah. Mine wasn't a quilt retreat. Mine was just a regular cruise. So um, I've been on a couple of them. And the first one went down to the Bahamas and back. We just wanted to test it out to see if we liked it. And then the last two, we went out of New York and went up to New England and Canada. And those were really, really fun. So,
Yeah, same here, Andrea. That's on my bucket list to do one day.
yeah, I think they're a lot of fun. The nice thing is like you get on the boat and you wake up in a new city every day. Like you get to like you're only in the city for 7, 8 hours, so you kind of only get a little glimpse of a city. But it's a good way for me, it's a good way to test out. Like like when we went to Boston, like, do I want to go back to Boston? Like it's a good way to test out these cities and see is this somewhere I want to come back and explore in more detail. for
Yeah.
yeah for one cost. Like you're not having to fly to each city and check it out. You can kind of just check them out, and then like especially the islands, like down the Caribbean, if you do that sort of thing there, um, it's nice. You can just hop on the boat and just go from place to place. All right. So Margie says Houston Quilt Show. I think you can get shuttles from your hotel to the show as well. Okay, that's awesome. Be nice if like something like New York City or something did a big quilt show because like if you put it in like a big convention center in Manhattan or anywhere, you could probably take the subway there. That'd be really neat. Or DC, that sort of thing there. All right. So Amy's working on her stuff. Janae's just never been on a cruise, definitely on a bucket. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to try one out, do it. Maybe start off with a small one out of like Orlando or something like the 3 or 4 nighters out of there, and that way, to go to the Bahamas. And that way, if you don't like it, you're not stuck on there for a week and a half either.
Yeah, definitely. That would be a bad thing and everything. Is if you get on there and you don't like it, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah. All right. Sylvia says I worked those cruise ships, climbed a ladder on the side to get on. Might be fun to go on the side door. Oh wow, that's intense. I know what you're talking about there. Um, yeah, the little ladders like the ones that the harbor pilots get on, like because those yeah when they go into a harbor, the captain can't drive the ship into the harbor. They have to have what they call a harbor pilot, which is someone that's very specialized and knows how deep where the channels are, where the deep water is, and that sort of thing. There, it's the same whether it's a cruise ship or a container ship or any sort of bulk vessel and they have to go in. Those people get paid a lot of money, but if you've ever seen what they have to do and what conditions they have to work under, they earn every penny.
Oh,
Yeah, if you're in,
definitely.
yeah, go look up Harbor Pilot on YouTube one day and just see what these people have to do. So, because if you don't have a harbor pilot, you can have a situation like what was it, the Ever Forward, the Evergreen vessel over there in the Suez Canal. They had a harbor pilot, but apparently someone fell asleep at the wheel, did something wrong because she shouldn't have ended up in the side of blocking the Suez Canal, right? Okay,
Oh,
so,
wow.
but we're here to talk about quilting, right? Not ships getting stuck
I
in the
thought we were
mud.
talking about geography today.
Oh, geography, that's right, yeah. See, that's the thing. You never know what you gotta get up to here. Like we just come on and we talk about whatever. So
I mean, we've covered Australia, we've covered cruises, we've covered
yes.
QuiltCon.
All right. Andrea says, have I seen Fallon's recent video? She shows how she tailor preps her quilt for a quilt. I have not. I've seen the thumbnail for it, but I think it's absolutely amazing because I'll have to go watch the video. I've seen like the little preview for it, and I think how her and I do it are kind of similar. Yeah, I stopped rolling around on the floor, pinning and basting and making quilt sandwiches many, many years ago because it killed my knees. And I'm not that old. So yeah, I'm definitely I think the table thing is definitely the way to go. And let's see. Oh, there was another question that came up earlier. I forget who asked it, and I'd get lost trying to scroll back up. But they were asking with that fabric paint, yeah, the thing that you do with the crayons and that sort of thing there with Tammy. Um,
Uh-huh.
how do you make it permanent or to stick, like so it doesn't like wash out and stuff?
So you use normal Crayola crayons, not the washable ones or anything like that.
Right.
And you use the white crayon to color over the area that you want the crayon to be at first. And then you
Okay.
come back with a color crayon and color it.
Oh, okay. That's
So
really
it's like
cool.
the white crayon is acting like a primer for the paint, essentially.
Oh, wow. Okay. See, I'm learning all sorts of new stuff. What was it? I think it was Fallon taught me the other day too. Hang on, what's going on here? Am I missing a piece of fabric? Oh no, there it is. I am not doing great. Okay.
You got this, Sean. Come on.
Oh yeah, Leanna says Sean last night we were all painting nails and 90 Day Fiance shows a Crystal Heart. Yeah, I popped on there for a little bit to see that. And they were trying to convince me to get my nails painted. And yeah, I appreciate Joel's invitation, but that's not my thing. I know there's gentlemen out there that get pedicures and manicures, and I think Russ is one of them. It's never been my idea. Like
I
I
could
don't
just see Amanda's face if you did that.
oh, she's offered to take me to go get pedicures with her and that sort of thing there. And I'm like, nah. I just don't like people touching my fingernails or my toes or anything like that.
Yeah, I
So
can't even know people touching my toes. I'm
yeah,
extremely
no,
ticklish, and touching my feet is like a death wish.
yeah, that's not for me. So um, yeah, you'll have fun with that. Yeah, because I hopped on her live last night for a little bit just to say hi, and I'm like, this looks like a nail painting session. What did I walk into? All right, so let's see. I've got the next part done. We are not going to finish this today. I am getting too distracted, and I appreciate everybody that's here today coming along for the ride. So let's see. Andrea says to Fallon that she loves the recent videos, how you show start to finish a quilt. Yeah, she does such a wonderful job, Fallon, and everything that she does.
Yeah, she does. I love watching Fallon.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
watching Fallon and anyone else that is able to start and finish a quilt on a on a live or on a video. I don't know how y'all do it. I get too many squirrel moments and I get distracted easily. I just can't do it.
Well, my problem is, amongst others, including the squirrel thing, is I don't do simple quilts. Like, well, occasionally I do a patchwork quilt. No, my crazy tail likes to do like those blocks, the Elizabeth Hartman and the Art East that have like 155 pieces in it. So
Yeah,
there is,
I looked at those. I'm like, they're gorgeous, but yeah, no, the ones I do by themselves are like my legit kits. Those are a lot of work. They take a long
yes.
time, and I don't know how like handmade by Ying and stuff like that. I'll do it on quick, easy, over just like no time whatsoever. Then
Well, some
again, I mainly only do my sewing and my quilts during my live streams. Other than that, I really don't because I'm so busy during the week. I barely get time to even come in here.
yeah. Well, I think Donna just has a talent for that sort of stuff there. Like
She does. She is
yeah.
amazing.
And she's done a lot of them too, which I think helps too. Like it's like anything else. Like you have enough practice, you get faster and faster at it. But yeah, she just has a talent for that, just like um Shannon does too over at oh, why can't I think of her name? Slay Arts. I'll get it right there in a
Yes.
minute. So um
Yeah, I love watching her too.
yeah, she does a great job. I actually do have it. I've talked, and while we're talking about legit kits real quick, I do actually now have a plan for Toasty.
Awesome.
So if you're waiting for me to say that I'm going to start it next week, I'm sorry to tell you I am going to be disappointing you. We are looking at a fall launch, probably September, but we are going to do Toasty this year because there was quite a while there where I was just like, maybe I should just sell the pattern, because I don't know I'm going to get around to it.
Oh,
However, it is the year of the dragon, the Chinese year of the dragon, so I think it's appropriate that we do Toasty this year because I haven't bought the fabric yet. I have to go out and get the fabric for it. So I'm thinking a fall launch, maybe sometime in, early to late September is probably when I'm going to start it, and then we'll just knock it out. So anyone that's been interested in his journey, yes, we'll get him done. It's probably going to be a few months from now, but at least we know what's going on. Okay, so
that is gonna be
Charlotte says,
awesome.
so there we go. Yeah, I've just really figured out that I am not a huge like I know how to do FPP, but it's not my love. Like I know there's some out there that love FPP. I know Donna loves it and Shannon loves it and that sort of thing there, and that is fantastic. I love the effect, but I'd rather do my traditional stitch and flip, that sort of thing there. That's what I gravitate towards. So, okay, Brat46 says I give my hubby a pedicure as he's pre-diabetic and I want to make sure no problems are happening. That is awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, some people a lot of people enjoy pedicures and manicures, but I'm not one of them. So, I've had to pull out my friend Jack twice already today. And if we do it one more time, I'm giving up and going home. Um, I say if I,
You do realize you are at home, right?
yeah. Well, I've always said too, like if I make the same mistake twice, which well, three times, I've done it twice now, two different, then it's time to do something else or go take a nap. And I can't take a nap right now, so We're on our last chance.
You got
Okay.
this.
Let's see. Okay. Leanna says she's attempting to do 240 flitch and step corners now. Well, good luck to you on that. That's quite a few. I hope you have one of those fun rulers like I have, because that'll make your life so much easier. Um, Dragonflies for Donna is asking me what color is Toasty going to be? Green, purple, blah, 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 etc. I went back and forth on this for months. At first, I was thinking blue. Then I thought maybe I could do pink like the dragon from Shrek, and then maybe brown batiks. I went, all over the place. And I finally have settled on purple. So he will be a purple dragon, for many reasons. A lot of people have requested a purple dragon. It's my wife's favorite color. And I've also looked at the Kona solids, and there's a really, really nice range of purples in that as well. So trying to source the colors I need to do purple would be significantly easier than doing some of the other colors as well. So yeah, little Toasty, once he's done, and whether he gets finished this year or 2029, who knows? But yeah, he will be purple. I just make no promises. I might get distracted and find something else shiny in the
I
middle
just
of the
love how you
project.
said 2029.
Well, I just don't kid myself, because I want to finish this. Um, I think some people may have seen it a couple of years ago, a ceramic plate that I'm trying to paint from a scene with The Simpsons. And I started that thing in 2009, and it's still not done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I say 2029, it may not be a joke. So, all right. Flip and stitch instead of stitch and flip. I think either way works for me. So, okay, let's see. Just trying to see if I'm missing anything. I don't think I am. Okay, so I do need to run away just a hair early today. So we'll wrap things up in the next few minutes and do our Southern goodbye. That was really funny at quilt time. Like I always joke about Southern goodbye, where it takes me like 20 minutes to say goodbye to everybody. We had a content creator meeting at 3:30 that afternoon. I think it was like 13 or 14 of us. If you might have seen the group pictures on some of
Yeah.
like I know it was on Becca's. I think Yvette did it, and some of the others as well. I haven't watched everybody's stuff yet. I've watched most, but not everybody. And I really like I wanted to leave at 4 so I could be back in Virginia before it got really dark and I was on roads I didn't know. And so I started saying goodbye to everybody about 3:45, and I think I finally left that area about 4:22.
Oh,
So
no.
that's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. I just, figured if I waited till 4 and started saying goodbye to everybody, then it wasn't going to happen. So yeah, the Southern goodbye is real. So okay, Leanna says she makes up her own quilting lingo all the time. I do too. We have layer cakes. We have what, charm packs, charm squares, or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
The 2.5 inch squares. Apparently, I've heard now called mini charm squares. I like to call them donut holes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, me too. And I wanted to catch on. I think that needs to be the new name globally. Um, and I want to start it. I don't know if it's actually going to work, but that's my own quilting term. So if you ever hear me talk about donut holes, I'm talking about 2.5 inch squares. All right, so we've got this done here. Oh, that sounds fun. Andrea says she has a pattern for a large purple dragon that's part of the Minecraft pattern. I'll probably do it by itself for the year the dragon. That'd be a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind doing something like that myself.
Yeah, what?
Oh, like a Minecraft themed pattern would be fun to do. And it's something I've thought about doing for a while. So if you get a chance, Andrea, and can you send me a link to that pattern? Because I'd be very interested in taking a closer look at that. Okay, so let's see where we're at. I've done the first 2 steps of this, and I only have 1, 2. Yeah, you'll have to come back tomorrow to see the completed block, because yeah, it's not getting done during this live stream. Okay, well, thank you for hanging out with us today, Beverly. It's been fun having you with us as always. Okay, so why don't we just see what do you have coming up on your channel in the near future, Donnell, that you would like to tell everybody about that they should come over and check out?
Well, the Purple Mist Small PMQ. I'll be doing that tomorrow, as well as tomorrow I'll be working on my Legit Kit Lion. I'm doing it Detroit style. Since Detroit is home of the Detroit Lions. And we have named my Legit Kit Motown, since I'm from
Nice.
Detroit area. So I'll be working on both of those tomorrow on my live stream. Today I will be continuing up with working on all these pieces, getting them all stashed, so I can start working on getting them put together to actually get a quilt completed. And then let's see. Next weekend I have, let me look to see who it is real quick because I can't remember offhand. My memory is like blah blah.
Like you and me both.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Next weekend I have, yep, Guys Craft 2. So John from Guys Craft 2 will be on my channel next Saturday with me.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you'll have fun with them. John and Curtis are two wonderful guys. I had them on. I did a pre-record of them last year, and they were so much fun to hang out with. So yeah, you'll have a blast with them.
Yep, so that's about it as of right now. So my Saturdays will be, I'm working towards having my Saturdays with having a guest on, as well as just sewing and chatting, just like a casual Saturday. And then my Sundays, I'm working towards having that designated for my puzzle mystery quilts and my foundation paper piecing.
That is awesome. Yeah, and I love that you're doing the small puzzle mystery quilt and doing tutorials on that, because there was a lot of people when this thing first came out last month that were looking for small tutorials. And in the past, I've done the smalls, but I was assigned a large this time around. So it's nice that I can send people your way, and yeah, so that way they can get the help that they need as well.
Oh,
So
definitely. Yeah. And with mine, I'm doing mine where I do one block. Like if there's this one block you make for each for it, or one section essentially, then
yeah,
I'm making that one section, one block of that one section on a recorded video, and then I'm doing the remainder on a live stream. So that way they're and I'm releasing the recorded video in advance. So that way there that weekend when comes along and I do the live stream, me doing the rest of the blocks, if there's any questions, then I can answer them after they watch the recorded.
nice. Yeah. And I kind of do mine similar but backwards. I usually do this live stream first. I split my clue in half. Like this time it says I'm supposed to make 8 of these blocks. I'm doing 4 right now, and then I'll do the other 4 as a time lapse. Maybe doing it the other way around like you are might be actually the way to go. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
Amy says she's gonna be, yep, and then Amy's gonna be with me on March 30th. Um,
Oh, that'd be
Fallon
fun.
from Soviet Quilts will be with me in April, as well as Tammy, I believe it is.
At the
So,
Siberian Bend.
yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm getting
that's
like a
Tammy.
whole nice little collection of people to come with me on my Saturday stream. So
That's awesome. I love that you're starting to get guests on as well. That's really, really fun. So for me, let's see, we'll have a podcast tomorrow. I actually have some stuff to show you tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. So the last couple of weeks have been kind of like scrambling, like what am I going to show people? Like it's been a mess. So yeah, we'll have that tomorrow. We'll do the Battle of the Fabrics. That voting's going on right now. We'll do the final 16, starting that next Wednesday. Next Thursday, I'm going to drop a small interview that I did with another content creator. I'm going to kind of keep the name of that person under wraps right now, but it's someone that I love dearly and admire. And I'm really fun that I was able to do a project with her. So you'll get to see that on Thursday. And I hope to get a time lapse out. I think the clue. What was I doing? Clue one of this one. That should hopefully come out this week as well. And I think there's one other thing. So yeah, lots of stuff coming out this week, which is really, really neat. I'm actually getting back into a nice rhythm and swing where I can actually get stuff done as well. So let's see. I'll show you this real quick.
yeah, I think
Let's see.
QuiltCon just threw everybody's schedule off tilted some.
Well, that plus I've been helping stuff, helping Amanda with stuff for this school musical and that sort of thing there. So it's all just a crazy time of year. Like they need to reschedule QuiltCon for like the end of March or beginning of but they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that just for me. I am way
No, they're
too.
not going to do that because that's also around like spring break and Easter and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, so maybe the end of January they can do it for my birth. Yeah, early February for my birthday. Yeah, but I am way too low on the totem pole for anyone to pay attention to me on that sort of stuff. So, all right, so this is half of my flying goose or geese or whatever it is. Okay, so let's see. Okay, all right. Leanna says you could probably show us washing dishes and talking about movies and we would watch. Well, thank you for that. I mean, I've always said that, I've told Becca that. I said you could sit there and do your taxes and people would still come and hang out with watch. And we appreciate that so much. So let's see. Did I miss anything here? Okay. Janice is on her way. Okay, so she was saying that when she's in my channel, she spells Jamaican. I do, and I have to be very intentional not to slip into Australian slang because if I do here, a lot of people are not going to understand a word I'm saying. So there
guest
you go.
included.
Sorry?
I see your guest included on not understanding any of that slang.
Yeah, so there we go. All right. So we've talked about what we got up to in the next couple of minutes. I think with that, we will need to wrap this up just real quick. But actually, before we do that, I might just go ahead and put the other side of this flying goose together real quick. And let's see if we can do it without having to rip it out for a third time, because that would be sad. And then I will say goodbye to everybody and encourage everybody to come back tomorrow. All right, so it was Tessa's birthday recently. I'm assuming that's what she's saying. Okay, good morning, Samantha. It's good to see you. I saw some other people pop in earlier, as well, and I know I miss people. And if I miss people, it's not intentional. There's so many moving pieces, and as a man, I'm only supposed to be able to do one thing at once, and I'm actually able to talk and sew and read the chat sometimes. And sometimes I process it, but then I don't respond to it. Like I respond mentally and not physically. So I hope no one ever gets upset or anything else like that if I don't see, mention that you said good morning. I do see it for the most part. So there we go. All right. So, Kelly, good morning. It's good to see you. She's out in British Columbia, and she usually doesn't get to catch the live. So it's really good to see that she was able to pop in and see it. So let me.
Hi,
Um,
Bill.
who am I missing?
Bill
Bill.
Imhoff just
Good
came
morning,
in.
Bill. I got to see him a couple weeks ago too. He was hanging out with Becca and Tiffany and that the other week, so I got to see him a few times on QuiltCon Saturday. So that was really, really neat. And I don't know how Phoenix is for anyone going to Phoenix next year. If it's anything like Raleigh, apparently Thursday and Friday were crazy busy. But Saturday when I went, it wasn't too bad. And then Sunday was even quieter. So if you have, I always thought the weekends would be busier because people are off work, but I think everybody goes for the 4 days and they go Thursday and Friday, and then they're all worn out Saturday, so they all stay home in their hotel because it was very interesting. Like the ones that had the 4 day passes had the lanyards and their name and everything else like that. And if you went for a day, you had like a normal wristband, like you do, like if you go to most shows or whatever else like that. So like on Saturday, I was looking around and a lot of people had the wristbands. So I think a lot of the 4 day people actually took the day off and rested. So but which
Oh,
worked out for
wow.
me. Which worked out for me because like I don't like crowds. So I'm kind of glad it worked out that way. So yeah, if you're going for a day to QuiltCon, if Phoenix can be anything like Raleigh, go on the weekend. Is my suggestion. You think you might be avoiding the crowds by going Thursday or Friday, but it may not be the case. But you might want to also talk to people that have gone to these events in the past too, because Raleigh may have just been a fluke. Who knows? So there we go. All right. Dana says, "Have a great day, all." I managed to catch you online again. It was fun. I'm so glad you were able to join us, Dana. It was really neat to hang out. And please give your dog as a pet from me. So there you go. All right. Well, with that, if you haven't hit the like button and you enjoyed my ramblings today, please do so on the way out. It helps immensely. Please check out Donnell's channel, which is !Donnell or !guest if you can't spell Donnell, because I struggle with that sometimes. Also, yeah, come back in about half an hour or 45 minutes to check out her 10 a.m.'s live. And then Mum and Pop will be live at 1. And then,
They're actually going live at noon today because
oh, they're
they're doing
doing
their
all,
6 hour live stream, and she's doing a dragon on her live stream today.
all right. So there you go. Okay, so 12. Yeah, so once, and then Russ will go live at 11. So you got Donnell at 10, Russ at 11, and Mum and Pop at 12. That's probably why she's not here this morning. She's usually popping in the chat for a little bit, but she's probably, sleeping or getting ready or doing her chores and that sort of thing in the morning. So she's ready for
Yup.
that sort of thing there. Andrea says she watches a YouTuber from Australia called the Aussie Coin Pusher. I love his accent and the slang. I, for one, would love to hear you speak your native language. We might have to do that one day. I have to go print out all. That's the other thing that kind of is hard for me too sometimes is that I've been gone so long, it's unless it comes up in conversation, I don't remember it because I don't use it all the time. So I have to I might pull out a list one day and just go through it. I think that might be fun to do.
That would
So
be fun.
yeah, we'll have to do that one. Maybe next time you come back. We'll give you we'll give you a lesson in Australia. Although, yeah,
That would be
actually,
interesting.
yeah. Well, that or I'll have Stephen come on one day and I'll test him when he gets back from Australia. There's a Now there's an idea.
Yes. See how much he picked up and how much he remembers.
Yes, I think he'll do pretty well. He's pretty cluey, he's a pretty smart dude. So we'll see what happens there. But with that, I do need to run, otherwise I'll be late and I'll be in a lot of trouble. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. It was a lot of fun. If you're watching later on, definitely let us know where you're watching from. And just yeah, I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing. Hopefully you don't have to pull out Jack as often as I did today. And we'll see you all tomorrow. And definitely go over and check out Donnell's channel. Hope you all have a great day. Bye. All right. I think we're off. Well, thank you so